Hello dear learners and viewers, welcome to you all. Hope you are hale and hearty. Our today's topic is voice change. This is one of the easiest topics in English grammar. So let's see. Voice change. It is of two types, active voice and passive voice. Okay, and this topic is, you have started learning this topic from class 6 and just we are now going to revise it. Okay. First of all, active to passive, and these are the basic general rules. First of all, you need to write object, then auxiliary verb, then past participle of main verb, then preposition, and then subject. Okay. Now the question arises, how to find subject or object in a sentence? Okay, this is very easy. Make a question with what or whom to find object. For example, I need a pen. This is a sentence. Now make a question. What do I need? The answer is pen. So pen is the object in this sentence. Again, make question with who or whose to find subject. For example, I need a pen. Now make a question with who. Who need a pen? I need a pen. So here I is the subject. In this way, first of all, you need to find out what is subject and what is the object of this sentence, of the given sentence. Okay. Now, rule 2, if the sentence contains two objects, take the indirect object as subject. Okay. Indirect object means indicate a person. Okay. For example, the principal teaches us English. Here you will find two objects, one is us and the second one is English, and of these two objects, us is the indirect object. So we need to make it a subject. So the nominative case of us is we. Then according to the rule, we need to use auxiliary verb. The sentence is in present tense, so the auxiliary verb is are after we are, then past participle of main verb. Here main verb is taught and taught is the past participle form of teach. So we are taught, and the rest of the subject or the additional portion of the sentence English, and then preposition. Usually we use preposition by, and then subject. Here subject is the principal. So the principal. So we can say we are taught English by the principal. So you see, this is very easy. And next, if there is any preposition before an object, you cannot take that object as subject. This is also very important. As I mentioned earlier, if you find two subjects, you need to use indirect object as subject. But if you find any preposition before any subject, whether any object, whether it is indirect object or direct object, you cannot use that object as subject. So here you see, he did for me unnecessary things. Here you see for, this is a preposition, so you cannot use me as subject. So you have to use the rest of the subject, unnecessary things. So you can write unnecessary things, then auxiliary verb. According to tense, we need to use where, unnecessary things where, then past participle of main verb. Here main verb is did, so past participle form done, then the rest of the object or rest of the words for me, then preposition by, and then subject, objective case of the subject him. So the answer is unnecessary things were done for me by him. Now if you find to have verb means have, has, had. You have to write extra been. Okay. For example, he has done the work, object, the work, then has. Now you need to write been because has falls in the genre to have verb. So extra been, then past participle of main verb done, then preposition, and then object. I mean him, he is the subject, and the objective form, objective case of he is him. So the answer is the work has been done by him. Now, in case of continuous tense, use extra being. If the sentence is in continuous form, then you need to write extra being, B-E-I-N-G. Here you see we are digging a canal. Okay, this is a present continuous tense. So first of all, you need to write object a canal, then auxiliary verb is, then you need to write extra being because of continuous tense, being, then past participle of main verb dug, then preposition by, then us. So the answer is a canal is being dug by us. Now the next rule, if there is any modal auxiliary, use extra be. Okay, you must do the work. Here must is a modal auxiliary. So first of all, you need to write the object, the work, then auxiliary verb must, and because of modal auxiliary you need to use now extra be. The work must be, then past participle of main verb do, here done, then preposition by, and then you. Now you see the list of modal auxiliaries: shall, will, should, would, can, could, may, might, must, need, dare, ought to. These are the common modal auxiliaries. Now imperative sentence. This is the basic rule of voice change. If the sentence is in imperative, first of all you need to write let, then object, then be, then past participle of main verb, then preposition, then subject if it requires. But here you think one thing you need to know, if the sentence is negative, use not after let. Okay, now see the example. Do the work. This is an imperative sentence. So first of all you need to write let, then object, here object is the work, let the work, then you need to write be, then past participle of main verb done. Okay. Don't hate the poor. Okay, first of all you need to write let, then if the sentence is negative, use not after let. So you need to write let not, then object the poor, then be, and then the past participle of main verb hated. Again, let me do the work. Okay, let, then the object the work, then again be, past participle of main verb done, then preposition by, then me. Okay, the answer is let the work be done by me. Now this is very important. In case of complex and compound sentence, make passive in both clauses. Okay. Here you see, I know that he did the work. This is a complex sentence. Okay. Here, I know, this principal clause, that he did the work, this is subordinate clause, and that is the subordinate conjunction. Okay. I know. So first of all, you need to write this portion, I know. That means here one thing you must imagine, I know that he did the work. Instead of that he did the work, imagine it. So the sentence is I know it. Now do it. It, according to tense, auxiliary verb is past participle of know, known, and you should know it that if you find know, then you can't use preposition by. So here you should use to. So it is known to, then I, make it objective case, me, it is known to me. Okay. Then that he did the work, here the object is the work, and then according to tense you need to use auxiliary verb, and that is was. The work was past participle of main verb did, here main verb, so the past participle form of did is done, then preposition by, and then the objective case of he is him. So the answer is, it is known to me that the work was done by him. Now again, in case of to be verb and to have verb, use be after to, after infinitive to. So see, you had to pay a fine, here you see to have verb, had to. So in that case, you have to use extra be. Okay, see the answer. First of all, object, a fine, then had to. Now you need to use extra be, then past participle of main verb, paid by you. Again, you are to do this. So the object is this, then according to tense you need to write auxiliary verb is, then to, and then again extra you need to use extra be, then past participle of main verb done by you. This is to be done by you. Now interrogative sentence. Okay, this is also very important. So these are the, here you see the basic structure of interrogative sentence. First of all, auxiliary verb, then subject, then main verb, then object, then extension, then note of interrogation. Or first of all, WH means what, which, when, why, this type. Okay, then auxiliary verb, then subject, then main verb, then object, then extension, then note of interrogation. Okay, for example, here you see, am I a student, here auxiliary verb am, then subject, then object or extension. Again, what are you doing, WH what, then auxiliary verb, then subject, then extra, I mean main verb or extension. So this is the basic structure of interrogative sentence. So when you will do voice change of interrogative sentence, you must remember this structure. Okay, here you see, are you doing it? Okay, so first of all object, but before that you need to use auxiliary verb. Okay, is, then object it, is it, and since the sentence is in a continuous form, you need to use extra being, is it being, then past participle of main verb done, then preposition by, then you. Okay. Now one thing, if you find whom in interrogative sentence, when you will convert it into passive voice, you need to use who. Again, if you find who in active voice, and when you will convert it into passive, you need to write by whom. Okay. Now this is another important rule. If the passive voice starts with by whom, why, when, how, where, then you need to write auxiliary verb. After that you need to write by whom, why, when, how, where, then auxiliary verb, then object, then past participle of main verb, then note of interrogation. Okay, you see the example. Active voice, who is calling me? Okay, so here you see who. If you find who, you need to start with by whom. So here you see by whom. Okay, now if the passive voice starts with by whom, so it starts with by whom, then you need to write auxiliary verb. So in this sentence, this is a present continuous tense, you need to write auxiliary verb am, by whom am, then subject, me is the objective case, so turn it into nominative case, so I, by whom am I, and since the sentence is in continuous tense, so you need to write extra being, by whom am I being, then the past participle of main verb called. So the answer is by whom am I being called. Again, there is another sentence. Why do they do it? Okay, you see why. So why, then you need to write auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb is, since the sentence is in present tense, why is, then object, here object is it. Why is it, then the past participle of main verb, done, then by, then why is it done by, then here you see they is subject, so you need to write it in objective case, them. Why is it done by them? This is another important rule of interrogative sentence. If the passive voice start with who, what, which plus noun or whose plus noun, then use auxiliary verb, then past participle of main verb, then preposition and then object. This is an example. What do you want? Okay, so here you see what. You see what. Then auxiliary verb is, the sentence is in present tense, so auxiliary verb is what is. Then past participle of main verb, here the main verb is want, so the past participle of main verb is wanted. What is wanted, then preposition by and then object, here you see object you, and the objective case of you is also you. What is wanted by you? Whom did they see on the road? Okay, here you see. Can you remember what I told you a few minutes ago? If you find whom, you need to use who. Now you see the passive voice starts with who. Then again auxiliary verb, who was, since the sentence is in past tense, who was, then the past participle of main verb, see, seen, then the additional word on the road, then preposition by and then object, here you see object you, so you. The answer is who was seen on the road by you. Now let us solve some question taken from board question. Okay. Dowry hampers the peace of the society. Here the object is the peace of the society. So the peace of the society, it is in present tense is, then past participle of main verb hampered, then preposition by, then subject, here you have to make it object, dowry. The peace of the society is hampered by dowry. Next one, he can never help the poor of the society, passive voice. Okay, here the object is the people of the society, make it subject, the people of the society. Now can is a modal auxiliary, can never, and because of modal auxiliary you need to use extra be, then past participle of main verb helped, then preposition by and then him. So the answer is the people of the society can never be helped by him. Now tea helps us remove our fatigue. Here again you see the object is us, so we can make it subject, the nominative case of us is we. Then again according to tense we need to write auxiliary verb. This is a present tense, so we can use are, we are, then past participle of main verb helped. Now remember, help is a bare infinitive verb. Okay, so in that case you need to write to before the next verb. Here you see remove, so before remove you need to write to. We are helped to remove, then the additional word our fatigue, then preposition by and then subject, make it object tea. We are helped to remove our fatigue by tea. Next one, so we should control it for our own sake. So just write it as it is. So then object it, then should, and because of modal auxiliary you need to write extra be, so it should be past participle of main verb control, controlled, then preposition by, then subject we, make it object us, and then the additional word for our own sake. So the answer is so it should be controlled by us for our own sake. It stores, next one, it stores honey in the hive. Okay, here the object is honey. Then since the sentence is in present tense, so you need to write auxiliary verb, and here auxiliary verb is, honey is past participle of main verb stored, then the additional word in the hive, then preposition by, then subject, make it object it. Or you can write honey is stored by it in the hive. You can also write it in that way. And the next one, at that time his mother asked him for a glass of water. Okay, at that time, this is a phrase, so keep it as it is, at that time. Then here the object is him, so make it subject he. Then according to tense, need to write auxiliary verb was, he was, past participle of main verb asked, then by, then his mother, this is the subject, make it object his mother, and then the additional word for a glass of water. So the answer is, at that time he was asked by his mother for a glass of water. Now dear students, now you need to know how to make passive to active. Okay. These are the general rules. First of all, you need to write subject, then main verb, then object or extension. Here you see the example. The brutal condition of the dark age must be stopped soon. Okay. Now this is very important. First of all, this is a passive voice. Remember it. This is a passive voice. Now we are going to change it or convert it to active. And active voice requires first of all subject. Okay. And this is a passive voice. And in passive voice, the subject stays after preposition by, okay, or at the end of the sentence after preposition, okay. And here you see the brutal condition of the dark age must be stopped soon. Here we don't find any preposition, okay. So now we need to find out the subject. So in that case, if there is no preposition and object at the end of a sentence, here you see there is no preposition or subject at the end of the sentence. In that case, imagine that there is a by preposition, imagine here is a by, and then after preposition usually us or people. So we can imagine now that the brutal condition of the dark age must be stopped soon by us or by the people or by people. Okay, you need to imagine it. Okay, if you think here is by us or by people, then make it subject. If you think by us, then you need to write we. If you think this brutal condition must be stopped soon by the government, so you can write government or the government. Okay. So we or the government, this is subject. And then main verb, here you see must be stopped, these are verbs, and here must is a auxiliary verb, and since the sentence is in passive form, so here we added extra be. Now you need to remove be, so we find must, and since must is a modal auxiliary, then we need to write the next verb as stopped in present form. So we need to write the government must stop. Okay. Then the object is the brutal condition of the dark age, and soon is an adverb, so you can use it at the end of the sentence or at the beginning of the sentence. You can use soon at the beginning of the sentence or by the end of the sentence. So once again I am going to tell it. The answer is we or the government must stop the brutal condition of the dark age soon. My was lost. Okay. Who lost my was? My was. I lost my word. So here my was lost by, imagine, by me. Okay. So now subject I, then lost, since it was in past tense, I lost, then object my was. An honest man is honored by everywhere by all. Here you see by all, so all, make it subject, all. Then is honored, is indicate the sentence is in present tense, so honor, all honor, then an honest man, this is object, an honest man. It is known as an industrious creature by us, okay, or by people. So if you think by us, then you need to write we, or if you think by people, then you need to write people. So you can use either we or people, okay. So we, then main verb, here you see is, that means the sentence is in present form, so you can write know, we know, then object is it, we know it, then the additional word as an industrious creature. Now this is very important also. The thief was arrested by who? Whose duty is to arrest the thief? Police. So imagine the thief was arrested by the police. So the subject would be the police, and then you see was, that means it was in past tense, arrested, the police arrested the thief. Okay, so dear students, this is all for today, and you need to practice it more and more. No more today. Thank you. Bye.